everybody, it's Rosemary with Past Present Herbs. Today what we're going to do and what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about some essential oils that would help, basically we're also going to talk about a lifestyle, and we're going to use some essential oils that will help with a condition that many of our young people and even some adults, that it's a condition called ADHD. And I've been doing some research and some study for quite a while. I know of some adults that don't necessarily struggle with it, but they do live with this condition, and they do have to make some lifestyle changes. And I also was quite surprised at how many of our youth are struggling with this. And I say struggle because a lot of people in the healthcare are very quick to label our youth with this condition. And quite honestly, when I was growing up, I've had a difficult time because a lot of our people that are in the healthcare profession, they're very quick to label children that are hyperactive and that have a little bit of attention focus problem, because to me, being of the holistic world, I'm an herbalist. I see a lot of problems with the diet, and that's what I'm going to go over first. Lifestyle changes can happen in a young person's life, and immediately you'll see when a person's lifestyle begins to change, you'll see the focus and attention that young person, they start focusing, and their attention is all good. And so instead of putting a person or a child on medication, let's try some lifestyle changes first. But I guess that is my outtake, my outlook. First, let's do lifestyle changes before we try even before you want to try putting a person on a tincture or anything like that. Because medicine is great. Medicine is here to help us, but it's not always the first choice. I make tinctures, and they're made out of herbs, and quite naturally, they're great. But sometimes lifestyle choices, the way we live our life, sometimes could be interrupting with the way things are happening. And quite honestly, it can be for a child, it can also be for a teenager, it can be for an adult. It happens. And so if we're not willing to make some changes, then we might be going down this road, and it can be destructive. So if you're not willing to make these changes, then that's really why people take medicine. And I know a lot of people say, well, you don't understand, this happened to my grandma, it's part of my genealogy. Well, let's look at it. And I'm not here to do any preaching, but in my family, we have a lot of arthritis, and we have a lot of diabetes. And if I'm not careful, I have to look on both sides of my family, because both sides of my family is diabetes. So I'm always looking at what I can do to prevent that from creeping into me, and it will attack me severely. The arthritis and the diabetes. And the diabetes is something that comes in from both sides. The arthritis comes in from both sides. So I look at the food that causes arthritis. I look at the food that causes diabetes, and that's from both sides of the family. Even heart problems. And you say, whoa, heart, yeah. I mean, I look at all kinds of stuff that is throughout the generation of my family. And quite honestly, I don't have to worry about any of that stuff, because I do my research, and I take preventative things, and I just just tell myself, I pray over myself, and I just tell myself, you know what, I don't care how far back it goes. I pray over the generational curses that have been put on that, and that's what I have been taught. And the two, foods cause all that stuff, and recipes have been passed down, and I just changed the recipe. And so anyway, that's kind of what I'm here for today. I'm here to help, and I'm here to bless. So, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So what's going on in that? I really wanted to know, because I've had kids, they're hyper one minute, and I have not always been the person that is in the know. I mean, you give a kid a donut, you give a kid orange juice, you send them to school, what happens? They're going straight up. And I too have had donuts and orange juice, and I've also had milk. So if you give a kid orange juice and a donut, what are they gonna do? They're gonna love it for one, and I'm that type of person too. I love dairy, I love orange juice, and I crave orange juice sometimes, and I love donuts. So hey, who doesn't love a donut? So number one, that throws your blood sugar straight up in the sky, and then it's going to make you crash. So anybody who has the hyperactivity in their body, that's not good for them. So there's 4 things that they say not to do, 4 foods not to do. And that is, number 1, don't give them sugar. Don't give them chemicals. Don't give them any kind of chemicals like colors, like blue, like red, like yellow food dyes. That just makes them have behavioral problems. And even for adults, children, they really can't handle that. And I didn't know exactly why, but in this research paper, and I will link that research paper down in the description below. And hey, let me just tell you something real quick. If you like this video real quick, would you do me a favor and hit the like button? Because the more people that get to hear this kind of content, it will help them. And I really want this video to get around to as many people, parents, aunts, uncles, grandma. So let's hit the like button so people can hear this information. Thank you. So that's what the colors do. The colors are going to cause behavioral problems. In children, yes, but adults, it can also cause you to have to be stressed out and all kinds of stuff. So the other one, like I said, the sugar, I really want people to do the research, because when I was reading on this, I got tired of writing all the names of sugar down. We are smart enough to know, turn that label over and see that it has corn syrup. Corn syrup is just another name for sugar, but it's not just sugar anymore. It is all kinds of names. And let's see, it's dextrose, and I mean, it's all kinds of corn something, anything that's, if you can't even pronounce it, or if you know all these kind of sort of like, I mean, if it's a drink that it says that it has some vitamins in it, but you know it's not got sugar, or if it's got sugar but something sort of, if it says stevia, but other stuff with stevia, I wouldn't buy it. I was thinking I was going to get this drink. It's not like Gatorade. Gatorade is not good for you. Y'all know that Gatorade's not good for you, because it has all those dyes in it, you know. But there are some, and that's why I'm going to link that. If it's got like beets and turmeric and stuff like that. See, they're getting kind of smart where they're doing other stuff, but if it's got like an all natural, but it's got turmeric, and it's got some other kind of dye from a food, they say that's good. So I think people are trying to come out of that preservative and processed stuff and put the good stuff in. But I'll let you read the article. Okay, So, and sugar is also a carbohydrate, and it does something to the bloodstream, which causes all the hyperactivity to stay up there. And when your brain is trying to process what's good and what's bad, sometimes there's that battle going on in the brain with children, especially with children, and they really are struggling of knowing what to do. And then you have all that other stuff that's in there. Sometimes you have one thing that is got all that stuff in it. It's got the dyes, it's got the sugars, and the child is really struggling on what to do and how to process all that. And their body is really, and then it crashes, and then they don't know what to do. So it's really unfair to me, the way I was reading this article and the way I know some of this information. I was really feeling very, it's so unfair. And if we were educated, all of us were educated, we would just say, we shouldn't even have this on the market, really. And in some countries, they don't allow this to be at their grocery stores. In the UK, they don't allow this. Okay, so like there's artificial colors, artificial sweeteners, say absolutely none of that. Okay, now the hyperactivity and the inattentiveness and all that, the compulsiveness, and it just causes confusion in the brain. It all happens in the brain. So just educate yourself. And like I was talking about, the color dyes, the irritability, and it also causes insomnia. So a lot of times when the kids are trying to wind down and get ready for bed, they can't go to bed. All this accumulates over the day and over the next day and the next day and the next day. And that's when they have the insomnia and they can't go to sleep. They can't wind down. They can't go to sleep. It causes insomnia. So it's the red number 40, the blue number 2, and the yellow number 6. All of these cause insomnia. And then the last one, number 4, and I'll put all this in the description below. The pesticides. They put a lot of pesticides, and you're like, well, what's the name of the pesticides? I mean, like I said, if you cannot say the name of it, why are you giving it to your kids? Why are you eating it? Me as an adult, why am I eating it? If I turn something over and I'm like, see, how do you say that? I'm like, I'm not going to eat it if I can't say it. So that's my rundown on, there's a specific diet for children. And I'll put that link down there, and you may consider trying it, and you may consider, like every time you want to reward your child with something, maybe you should reward them with something besides a sugary treat. Because I know I used to get candy, and I used to really think that was great. And sometimes I even have a cookie around here and I give it to my grandkids. But I'm trying to think, ever since I'm doing this research, I'm trying to think about another way I can reward my grandchildren. Because really, when it all comes down to it, this stuff is really not that great for us. So anyway, I'll leave that there, and I'll let that marinate on all of us, because I'm putting myself in that same boat, because I really want to maybe have a better lifestyle for me and my family, because I really want this to help all of us that are struggling with this. And I think, well, did we really have it back in my day? I don't know. Maybe we just weren't educated that. I know we had a lot of hyperactivity kids, and I know I was hyper, but I don't know, whether they were just not looking for it. I know a lot of people say, they're going to grow out of it, and a lot of children do grow out of it, but there are adults that still struggle with it. So anyway, but we learn to just do what we have to do and go on with our life, right? Okay, so I've made a stock blend. I am not an aromatherapist, but I do consult with several aromatherapists. And one aromatherapist has helped me come up with this blend. I had talked to another aromatherapist online. And so I've got these 5 blends, and I will list them down below. So as we're talking, you can take notes if you want, or you could just look down in the description below. One of them is a very, very good one. I will tell you right off the bat, it is not my favorite. It's not one that you just want to sniff. So these 5 are going to be blended together. We're going to do what's called a stock blend, where you have just a empty bottle. And I haven't labeled this yet, but I'm going to call mine Focus. Okay. You can name yours Focus. You can name it Focus and Attention. I'm going to name mine Focus because I'm making this for a child. Okay. Now this stock blend is only going to be the mixture of these 5 oils. Okay. 5 oils. Now you can get what we're going to make is we're going to make a roller bottle. And the roller bottle is going to have like the little metal bottle. Some of them come with little plastic bottles, but I like the metal bottle. And what we're going to put in here is we're going to put in here some oil, which is going to come with the stock, which is just the 5 oils. And then we're going to have a carrier oil to go with it. And the reason that we're going to do the oil and the carrier oil is because this is going to be something that she can take with her in her backpack. And she can take it to school with her. And it's going to be rubbed on the back of her neck, and then maybe through here, and then maybe even in her temples if she wants. Because it's going to be on the back of the stem of the back of the neck right here on the stem of the brain. And this is going to be for her to do focus and attention, and then she can maybe even smell this if she wants. But it's for her to just have her focus and attention so that she can not focus on anybody else but just her schoolwork, okay? And the reason I'm doing a stock blend of this, okay, where it's just the oil and only the oil, is so that if her mother chooses to, if she sees that she needs help during her homework time, she can have a little bit of oil to put in a diffuser. Because when you're diffusing oil, you don't want a carrier oil to diffuse, all right? So let's go ahead and we will go through like the ratio of what you want to do to put it in your little roller bottle, okay? Now if you have it, and I mean it's going to be totally up to you, you can put just like a little funnel, and I have a funnel, or if you have like one of these little squeezy tubes, the main the main guy or the main champion of this whole team it's called vetiver, and it's kind of a root oil. He is I'm calling him he because he's like the champion. He's the main oil, okay? And this is kind of a musky, grounded oil. It's not one that's like real pleasurable, okay? And vetiver is a thick oil. It's very thick. I mean, it's almost kind of smells like deep down in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put 3 drops. And 1, 2, and it's thick. It's very thick wool. Okay. Now the next one is cedarwood. Cedarwood is it's not as thick, and these are like this whole thing is going to be about a 2 to 3% ratio. This is all these oils are kid friendly, kid safe. They're organic, and I'm going to do 3. One, 2, 3. And this next one is rosemary. And rosemary is very popular for memory. 1, 2, 3. And that comes out pretty fast. And this is the cineole, rosemary cineole. And I really love rosemary because I need help with my memory a lot. This next one is a very popular one for calming things down. You want something that's going to help you with staying focused and not getting too hyper. So this one is lavender, and I'm going to do 3 of this one. And that one is very, pours very fast too. But this one also is kid safe. This next one was a friend that I do online. This is a different aromatherapist than this other one. So I've consulted with 2 different ones, plus the reading that I do through my books. This is a peppermint, and peppermint, I did all of these in this blend. And then when I was consulting with her, she has a study from a university professor, and I read that and I kind of thought, you know what, I'm going to add peppermint, because after reading that and read another article online, it was very brief, I didn't go into it very much, but I kind of decided after reading that this one, and I smelt it after reading all that, and I kind of just did some praying, and I said, you know what, I need to do this peppermint. This peppermint kind of finished it all off to me, so I'm going to do 3. I have to be careful with her oils because her oils go fast. Okay, so this one will keep you alert and awake, and plus all that, who does not love peppermint, right? So if you'll look down here, you do not have a lot of oils, but it doesn't mean anything. Oh, that's a nice blend now. Each one of them, besides the vetiver does not really smell that good, but you need that grounding. You need that really important oil, because this is medicine. This is not like something for pleasure. You're doing this as a, okay, you want a carrier oil. So we're going to put in our carrier oil. I don't think some people really understand the exact nature sometimes. That's about half full. Let me see. And on your carrier oil, you are completely free to use, like, this is jojoba oil, which is really not an oil, but it's a wax and an oil. And this is avocado oil, or you can use almond oil. As long as it's clean. I was gonna use a fractionated coconut oil, but I'm out. So let me see where we stand. That is right at, okay. Let me see. Okay, sometimes when you let it sit there, it can be kind of powerful just sitting there. And even though it doesn't seem like we have that much in there, it still smells very strong. The peppermint is really coming through. You can smell hints and notes of the other oils. And I really like that. I really like that a lot. So right now, I'm gonna go ahead and put this cap on there, and I'm gonna let it sit. And yeah, that is really a nice, it's not like something that you want for perfume, because what it's gonna do is the person's gonna rub it right here, and in the back of their neck, okay? And they're gonna rub it in there really good, right in here, right in the crown right there. And it's gonna rub into their skin, and it's gonna cause an effect for attention and focus. And that's what we want. I'm just gonna make it very simple and call it focus. And this person that's gonna use it is gonna have clear cut, very simple instructions of what it's for, and she knows what it's for. It's for attention and focus. And anytime that somebody's using this should have her mom and somebody like me will be able to see results usually within the first day. And that's why I really like essential oils. Essential oils, it's something that usually within the first 20 to 30 minutes, you can see something that's going to work right away. And within, I would say, using all these essential oils and the safety of all these essential oils, doing your research, you should be able to see results in your life as well. And I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you give it a like. I hope you give it a share. I hope this has helped you if you need this. I always say, you know, to do your own research, because it's so important for us to do our own research. And I hope you enjoy the document that I'm going to be putting down in the description, because you know, we can do stuff like this, it's important, but if we don't change our lifestyle, that kind of goes hand in hand with the other things that we're doing. Just like when I do a consultation with somebody, I always tell them, well, let's talk about your lifestyle. Sometimes we don't like to do that, but it is so important. And even me, I have to do lifestyle changes. I'm doing a lifestyle change right now. So anyway, you guys, I hope this was a blessing to you, and I'm gonna get ready and do my labeling. And like I said, you know, it happens to all of us. So you guys, I just hope y'all have a blessed day, and I will see you in the next video. Be sure to get everything down in the description below. Okay, y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.